What's up, everybody? Welcome to Podcast Now. I'm Alex, and in this video, I want to talk about the Xbox Lockhart console, the all-digital Xbox Series X kind of version. So, I know I don't normally talk about Microsoft consoles on this channel very much, but I want to do that here. I kind of want to talk about what I think about what it's going to be, as well as the price. The price is obviously a massive, massive thing. Really, the price is absolutely massive because we're now in an age with the PS5 as well. PS5, the physical edition, where you could put the disc in, and then as well as the digital. These digital versions are going to be very, very important. So what do we know about Lockhart? Well, we know a couple things. One, it was supposed to be announced at E3 2020. This was obviously before it was canceled, but it was supposed to be there. Microsoft was supposed to talk about it. Now it seems like it is going to be announced in August. So a lot closer, I should say, to when the actual release of the Xbox console is. It's going to be a smaller and less powerful and all digital version of the Xbox Series X. Now, the less powerful part is really the thing that makes me wonder, okay? I own an Xbox. I'm not an Xbox hater. I'm not a Microsoft hater. I'm not a Sony hater. I guess if you want to call me more of a Sony fanboy, I mean, PlayStation is my primary console, but I respect all consoles. I respect all games. I think that's important for you guys to know so that just nobody can call me out on things that just aren't, just actually are not true. But what I will say is, really, we haven't had clarification yet on the PlayStation one, which is my most interesting thing that I think is part of all this. Because, again, we know with Lockhart, it's going to be cheaper, a lot cheaper, and it's also going to be just factually less powerful, but it's also a digital version. Now, PlayStation has never had a digital version. I've mainly played PlayStation, so I'm not sure what they're going to do with the PS5. What it sounds like, and it's important to talk about PlayStation when talking about Xbox because of the pricing. With PlayStation, I feel like it's going to be, the PS5 will probably be $500. This is U.S. currency, obviously. I really do think that's where it'll come in. Now, I think it could be $450, so let's even say $450 to $500. Now, rumor, talks on the street are the digital version will be around $50 less, and only $50 less. It's not going to be a massively reduced system, okay? Now, my question for that is, why? Is that because the digital version literally is the exact same thing? It's just as powerful, it's just as meaty, say, as the PlayStation 5, the disc version, but it doesn't play discs, and because of that, it's going to save them money in terms of manufacturing certain parts, and so because of that, it's just going to be cheaper, but it's not going to be that much cheaper. See, now with the Lockhart, it's tough because, I like the idea, I guess. At the same time, I'm not the biggest fan because really what it sounds like is, where is it in the scale of power? Where is it in the scale of the Xbox consoles? Because, you have the Xbox One, but then you have the Xbox One X, then you have the Xbox Series X, but now you have the Lockhart, which, does that go in between? Is it more powerful? So I have the Xbox One X, right? So that's more powerful than the basic Xbox One, but if the Lockhart, so I guess let's talk about the price because that really continues to make maybe my argument a little bit more succinct. The pricing, they say, or again, rumor has it, Microsoft may be willing to go half the price of the Xbox Series X. So if the Series X is $400, let's say, or $450, the Lockhart could be as low as $250. In fact, that's what some people are saying, that the Lockhart could be $250 to $300. Now, that is just above the price of the Xbox One X. That's right above the price of the PS4 Pro. So, why do you have that? I mean, that's my biggest question. I guess the idea that it's going to be all digital and it'll be smaller, it'll be more compact, all that kind of stuff. I mean, it's fine, but at the same time, if it's going to be that much cheaper and it's going to be all digital, but it's going to be less powerful, why would you be getting it? How much more powerful is it than the Xbox One X? You know what I mean? Or where does it go in between? It's going to be really interesting because, again, they're very much separate. And I'm not saying one is better than the other, PlayStation or Microsoft, but they've definitely separated themselves where it's all right, I think factually what we're going to find out at the end of the day is the PlayStation ones are just going to be more cost, it's going to cost more, okay? You're going to have to pay more for them. And again, with that being said, the all-digital PlayStation 5 will still be pretty expensive. In fact, it could be the same price or maybe even like $50 less than the base version of the Series X. So again, what does that tell you? Well, I think that tells you that the PS5 is still very powerful. The digital version is very powerful. In fact, it's as powerful as the rest of them. And I know like there's parts of Series X that are going to be more powerful. The PlayStation will have better like loading stuff. I mean, each of them have their own strengths and weaknesses when it comes to technology. So I get that. Don't come at me with that kind of stuff. I understand that. I honestly do get that. But basically, again, what I mean is the pricing of all three of those are really going to be around the same territory because overall the consoles are pretty close to each other. Again, some do things better than others, but for the most part, they're going to be, largely the same. Again, Lockhart is just completely separate from that, where it's like, okay, it's their all digital version, but if you're going to get that, you're really getting a console that is much less. And in fact, again, for the people that want to go into the console wars, which I have no problem stepping my feet in from time to time, but no, honestly, if you're into that, you can make the argument one way or the other. Again, like, okay, well, PlayStation 5, better ray tracing technology, or again, the loading stuff. But Microsoft Series X, it's just visually, like, you can just get more out of it. Whatever you want to say, okay? It's gonna. I'm sure throughout the entire console generation, there will be people making the defense of either side, okay? And the digital PlayStation 5, I'm going to argue, and I'll say for like the sake of, again, clarity for this video, probably will be pretty similar to the PS5, again, with technology, so like the disc version. So let's just throw it in there. So we'll be arguing, oh, the PlayStation 5 does this better, Series X does this better. With the Lockhart, what does it do better? It doesn't actually do anything better. It actually does everything worse than all. And I don't even think there's going to be an argument being made there. It's going to do everything worse than any of the other systems. The only thing it's going to do better than is the PS4, the PS4 Pro, the Xbox One, the Xbox One X, the Xbox One S, like all those. Like, it'll do better than those. But like, why would you take that very minor jump up? Like, again, it's a much bigger jump, even from going from the PS4. Like, say I own the Xbox One X2, but say you go from the PS4 to the PS5 digital version. Well, I'm taking a massive leap up because I'm going to next gen. I'm going to all the next gen technology, and at the same time, though, I'm losing the disc part. Right, I'm going all digital. But with Xbox, say you're going from you're going from the Xbox One to the Xbox Lockhart, or you're even going from PlayStation 4 to Xbox Lockhart, why are you upgrading? You know what I mean? Like, why would that be what you're upgrading to? Yes, you're going all digital, and there's a lot of benefits in terms of, like, you don't need to get the disc and all that kind of stuff, but you're not getting the next-gen technology. And another thing is, this too, does that hold back the other consoles? And that's something I literally just thought about now. When third parties, when developers that are not owned, okay, by like Sony or Microsoft, when they make games, they have to make it to the worst console, let's say. And by worst, I just mean least powerful. That's probably the better way of saying it, okay? So when you're making your sports games, when you're making just any an online game or an RPG or an open world game, you have to make it to the console that's the least powerful, because you got to make sure you can optimize it for that console. Like, it's got to work basically on that console, and then you can go up from there depending on how much time you have. The only time that you're able to really, I mean, sure, name your best developer out there. They're obviously special, right? They can obviously get a lot out of certain things. Okay, I'm not arguing against that, but for the most part, it's the first party developers that are going to get the most out of the system. Look at what Naughty Dog can do. Look at what like 343 can do for Microsoft, right? Those are the ones that, because they're only working on one system, one company, they can max out what that system is capable of doing, okay? But again, the Lockhart, I think, messes that up. How do you make a game look like at the level that we want it for next gen if that's really, and it's hard to say it's like a 1.5, or even we can even say like with PlayStation, we'll use that because they're really they're nice numbers. PS4 to PS5. The PS4 Pro is kind of like the PS4 4.5, okay? That's kind of what that is. So we can kind of say, all right, well, let's say that for Microsoft. But the Lockhart, is it really the 4.5, or is it like 4.75? Because it's got to be more powerful than the middle term consoles we've gotten, right? Because of the Xbox One X. It's got to be more powerful than that, but it's not going to be as powerful as the next full version. You know what I mean? So when you're making games, when you're a third party, you have to make games for the Lockhart, and that's the bar set for all the other ones, like that actually really holds back the Series X and the PS5. The only time, again, that it wouldn't be affected would say be PlayStation exclusives. They don't have to worry about it. But if you're a third party, if you're making, say, the Harry Potter game or the Batman game from Warner Bros. Montreal, do you have to make it for Lockhart? And then maybe if you have time, or maybe if you're able to, if you have a big enough team, you can kind of you raise the bar, optimize it for Xbox Series X, optimize it for PS5. And another thing to just say too, I understand I'm not all knowing. I understand I don't know the intricacies of the consoles. I understand I'm not a game developer. Maybe it's easier. Maybe it's something that maybe even somebody has said out there in the game developer world and somebody knows that. Definitely, let me know. Correct me if I'm wrong, or let me know what you guys know about these next gen consoles. But I just feel like that's overall gonna hold it back. So yeah, it sounds nice. Yeah, it's gonna be really, really cheap. But like, is it even next gen, or is it really the Xbox like 1.75 or 1.65? You know what I mean? Like, where is it in the scale of where we're at right now and then where we will be with the next gen consoles? That's just what's going to be most interesting. I do believe it. I believe it's probably going to be $250 to $300. In fact, I wouldn't be shocked if it was $250. It's just that, okay, I mean, that's so dirt cheap. It's great. That's very cheap. I mean, that's very inexpensive. I guess you could say the reason you would get it is you don't want to spend so much money on the Series X, but you want the next-gen games. You want to play these games on or you want to play the games only available on next-gen, You know what I mean? But at the same time, you're not really going to get the full next-gen experience. So, like, say me, but another thing to throw in there, too, is a lot of Microsoft exclusive games are going to be on both consoles. So, like me, I have the Xbox One. I'm not going to get the Series X day one. I'll be able to play Halo Infinite, though. I'm going to get Halo Infinite day one, but I'll play it on the Xbox One because I can. Maybe a game like The Medium, right, that kind of horror game that was announced at Inside Xbox, that game is only going to be on Series X. So maybe if you really want to play that game, but you don't want to spend $450, so you spend $250, but you're buying it for like 3, 4, 5, 6 games in all, and then eventually you probably will still have to upgrade to the Series X eventually because you probably won't be able to survive with Will Lockhart be able to hold up basically 3 years into next gen? No, I actually don't think it will. I don't actually think it will hold up right in the beginning of next gen. If it's not going to be as powerful, imagine in 3, 4, 5 years the next Halo game, all these future like the next BioShock. Think about like really far out there games that are GTA 6, right? That's going to blow the console's minds, right? It would probably explode the PS4 and Xbox One if it came out on it, right? The system wouldn't be able to run it. Will Lockhart, will that be able to run it? Will it be able to run it like pretty poorly? Those are questions I just have for it. It's again, I'm not hating it. I'm honest. I know it maybe sounds like it. I mean, I definitely understand why you would get it. I'd be backing you. I'm not saying don't buy it. I'm not saying don't buy Microsoft or don't buy Xbox. I'm not saying that at all. I'm probably going to get a Series X eventually. Not right away, but I will eventually get a Series X. I'm not on a side. I don't, I really, again, I respect all consoles. I respect all kinds, or I give all consoles, all games a chance. It's just that this Lockhart sounds cool because it's so inexpensive, but when you really think about it, it's like, well, does it hurt development? Does it not even make sense at all? You know what I mean? Those kind of questions come to mind. So guys, let me know in the comments below. What do you think? Honestly, that is very important. Did I miss anything? Am I not thinking about a specific aspect of it? You guys are very, very smart, and you honestly do come up with a lot of things that I never even think of. So let me know your thoughts in the comments below. As always, make sure you guys are subscribed and have the bell icon turned on, and I hope to see you all on the next video.